Inside the Barriers, brought to you by Bet Deluxe. Serious betting for serious punters.
Hello, we're Inside the Barriers, brought to you by Bet Deluxe. Serious betting for serious punters. I'm Bryan Martin. This man here's the Cuz, Michael Walker, and young Paulo is still on the sidelines with a hammy. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good, Cuz. He is, so it leaves it to us guys again to try and find those winners, but I'm looking and feeling really, really good. But I tell you what, I'd rather be in here with a bit of aircon because it's 32 degrees outside and I start sweating straight away, so I'm glad we're in here.
Kingston Town has got this Western Empire who won the Railway Stakes in devastating fashion. Same stable, colours, same rider, $1.40. How do you go past it?
I don't think you can. How good has it been, Willie Pike? You turn up to Group 1 throughout your carnival, you ride for Bob Peters and they're odds-on favourites. So you just steer them and they win. It'd be such an amazing position to be in. But he is a really, really good rider and their horses are just flying at the moment. The horse was obviously dominant in the Railway and deserves to be odds-on favourite, deserves to be in the red for this race. It's a race that I think dance music can dominate from the front with the two Lindsay Smith runners, Trap for Fools and two Close to the Sun. I think they can sit behind dance music, and I just think, BM, if dance music at the odds can get a soft time in front and those other two stablemates of Lindsay Smith sit off him, I think the horse Western Empire is going to have to really rack it off some quick sessionals to pick him up.
It looked so dominant in the Railway, but you got it, and of course the stablemate Regal Power. But there's one horse just stands alone at $1.40, and there's talk of the horse coming here for the All-Star Mile in Melbourne. You'd say you'd be a brave man to back anything to beat it, Western Empire. But I like your school of thought about that horse getting in front. Maybe if it could get soft and then get a kick, it might give the favourite a scare.
That's what I'm thinking. I just, you know, I'm not a punter, but to look outside of the square for our punters who follow Bet Deluxe, I'm just thinking maybe put something a little bit each way on dance music, because if he can get that easy run in front, who knows?
Yeah, I like the sound of that. Now, Pakenham have got the Cup meeting, stand alone. It was interesting, Cuz, during the week on Sunday I went down to Waterville for the Jericho Cup. Gee,
How was it?
Oh, fantastic. It was a fabulous day, and they had 5,000 people there. The weather was ideal. Great race, the Jericho. Brutal race, not over the hurdles, just to the 4,600 on the flat. And Will John, we've seen him through the spring. He was terrific at Caulfield. He ran a little bit flat at Flemington Cup week, which worried me a bit with the 70 kilos. But he and the second horse drew away to fight it out. But the atmosphere and the buzz of people being back at the races, it was great to be a part of it.
Can imagine. Oh, I'd love to obviously be there one day.
I'd do it. You're a Kiwi, you've got to go.
I've got to go. What about the guy, Will Gordon, the jockey? How good a season has he started off having? He's going really, really well.
Yeah, so that was the standalone, of course, the Jericho Cup. Pakenham Cup this Saturday. Good quality field. Future Shocks there, or Future Score, I should say, was pulled out a couple of days before the Cup. The stewards weren't happy with the horse's action. They said it had some degree of lameness. Connections are saying there's nothing wrong with the horse. She's going there again. How'd you look at this Cup, race 7?
I reckon it's a race that...
Few familiar faces there, aren't there?
Agree. There's horses that you see week in, week out. They're in these same sort of races. Smoke and Romans, Mancayan, Team Captain. You know, they're probably the three top favourites in the race, but you see them every week. You know, they're horses that the distances is not going to worry them. They keep plodding along. They're big stayers. They don't quicken a hell of a lot in the home straight, but they keep going. That's why it's hard for them to get past them. But I like Mimi's Reward. I just think she's the fresh horse on the scene, and the matriarch 2 starts ago.
No luck.
No luck. No. She got out at the last 100 and race was over. And then last time at Ballarat, she was in a race where it was hard on the day. It was hard to win from back. Correct. And it was hard to win out wide. You had to be on speed and on the fence. So I think at the price, I'm going to go Mimi's Reward. I think this horse can get a ball over, because it's also, BM, it's had one start at the distance in the SA Fillies Classic, which it won. So I think it's the horse, fresh horse on the scene.
I'm going to go with Mancayan. I don't think it was comfortable on the heavy 10 at Cranbourne, but its class got it over the line, right on the post. Like, it took a half an hour to win up the straight. I think with sort of the right weight with 54.5, Jai McNeil, he's as good as anyone in the state at the moment. Really polished rider now. That Melbourne Cup a couple of years ago turned him around. I think Mancane back on top of the ground on good turf there. It'd be nice fresh ground there at Pakenham. I reckon it might be the horse to beat now.
Yeah, I agree with you, BM. One thing I would say for people listening to you, BM, was Jai McNeil also won on Smoke and Roman's last start.
Correct.
He's elected to go for Mancane, so there's a big up.
I think so. One of the other features on this program at Pakenham is race 8. This is the Gold Bullion of $175,000 with all the bonuses. You've got Yulong January up the top there, absolutely flying, this horse. Hasn't raced since June, it's first up. How do you rate these?
Yeah, I like this horse, Yulong January. As a horse that I've raced against a lot. And,
yeah.
I know the horse that goes, it's not a horse that's fresh on the scene. You see him, when he's going good, he goes really good. I think it's a race in 2 with Yulong January and Way to Go Paula down the bottom there.
Yep.
Also Jamie Carr's on. It's been running good without a hell of a lot of luck. But I think out of those 2 horses, if you ask me to pick something I think could cause an upset outside those 2, I think looks like Alvis, a horse coming from Sydney, been running really good in stakes class races. I think this horse can run well with Brett Pibble on board. Yeah,
good call. Jamie Carr back riding at Mornington Friday, a ride at Moonee Valley Friday night, and then goes to the big one at Pakenham, and riding for Phillip Stokes with Way to Go Paula, locally trained, so that's something in its favour. One more race to mention, it's the George Moore. It's a Group 3, and hopefully they'll race at Doomben after last week's rain that virtually knocked racing out in Queensland. This is race number 9, and the talking point, of course, is Alligator Blood, who had a little stint with the Gay Waterhouse stable. It's back. Can they get this horse back to where he was? He's 61, first up over 1,200.
I think 61 kilos. If the horse is at his best, he beats them, even with the weight. But we won't find out till the race if he has come back. With 61 kilos, he's got to go forward from that barrier out wide. Zoustyle obviously jumps and runs and goes forward. What have I got? Alligator Blood, Hard Empire goes forward, and also Shooting for Gold. They're horses that roll forward, but I just think with 61 kilos, Alligator Blood cannot afford to get back in the run and expect to pick them up with that weight. So I think he rolls forward, potentially sits outside Zoustyle, which is something I would do. It's the horse to beat. I would follow this horse, and with the weight, I'd take it to him before the corner if the horse is fit enough. But I'm really looking forward to seeing if he has come back, because if he has, he's a very, very good horse.
He is. He's an exciting horse. I'm a bit in your corner with Zoustyle. It ran tick over 55, I think, and then running the record last start. Placed at 1,200 in a strong league down here in Melbourne. I think it leads Zoustyle. It just might have the hard, coal form to get away with this. Yeah,
I agree with you. And the thing is with the Zoustyle, apart from, I think he had an issue in Sydney, a few starts, last campaign, that was his worst run of his career. He's a horse that always puts himself on speed, can control a good, quick tempo and quicken off it. It's not like he runs along really quick and slows down late. He runs at a good tempo and then all of a sudden goes again. So he's a horse that is strong through the line, and he's obviously, he's short. He's $1 something, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's very short, so he's going to be hard to beat.
What's your best for the weekend? You're a bit keen about Mims, aren't you?
I'm going to say Mims Reward in the Pakenham Cup. I'm just hoping that I can get something over the line at odds for the punters, because favourites are easy to pick.
Tram driver, the bloke down on the bus. We can all tip favourites. We're just going to try and find something of value. Yeah. I respect number 14, Mims Award. That's in race 7, the Pakenham Cup. I'll go with Mancane, the 6 up against you for my best. But it's great weather we've had here in Victoria, and I know tracks are improving in New South. Let's hope they go gangbusters again in Queensland at Doomben. It's a feature race there, and looking forward to WA as well.
Yeah, definitely. WA is a time of the year when we all like to get over there as jockeys, but obviously with the pandemic we're going through at the moment, well, no, I shouldn't say the moment, the last 2 years, we can't get there. But it's, for me, being on the other side of the fence, watching on TV is an amazing thing to do. Good on you, Cuz. Don't forget, of course, all the tips are there. Every day you'll find the best tips and all the form done by Paul Sebastiani. Just go to the tips section there on the website on betdeluxe.com. Inside the Barriers, brought to you by Bet Deluxe, serious betting for serious punters.
Inside the Barriers, brought to you by Bet Deluxe, serious betting for serious punters.